So now let's talk about the Navy. The Navy, the frigate is the most important part of the early until the mid and still relevant even in the late game. They are useful at the T1 because they can sustain the damage of submarines, even though the submarines countered the frigate because of the time the submarine need to kill a frigate. Uh, People prefer making a frigate all the time and almost never think about making sub. Sub are made to counter other sub, and the best way to counter them is to have destroyer or having a torpedo bomber. And for the frigate, I put all of the sub into the D tier because they are not really relevant to the game. That they can just be useful at the T1. Like if you are behind in the T1 Navy, you can make sub to recover, but that's not really a good move. Um, so the frigate, the best one by far is the one of the Cybrand. Then I like the UEF because he have a good HP pool. For me, the worst one is the Seraphim, and the Aeon is just in front of the Seraphim because he have the best range of all of them, but no A, and the range doesn't really make a huge difference for the frigate. So for me, it's the Cybrand first, then the UF, Aeon, and the Seraphim because there is nothing exceptional about that one. The Aeon have a navy dedicated to the AA. That's a fast boat, but that's just the only thing I can say about it. It's not really useful. If you want to counter air, build a SF or interceptor. Don't bother with that unit. Now for the two to face, the UF is a bit special because they have a boat dedicated just to counter or torpedo damage that been done by a destroyer or a T2 sub. The T1s are already irrelevant at that point of the game. Um, the the destroyer of the EF is really good. It's a really good unit with the best deck damage. So in a fight, if there is only shoot, fire at each other, the UF have the best destroyer of all of them. The cruiser is an excellent unit to siege base because they have a missile with a big range, and they also have a great AA. They can deny air for most of the time. You need 7 torpedo bomber to kill one cruiser in general, or 2 of the T3 Aeon faction. And cruiser are good in general, and I like the one of the EF and the Seraphim because they can siege base by themselves, and the other just have deck damage instead of missile launcher. The the shield boat is pretty useful. So use area and make all of your navy more efficient. The T2 sub are not really great. They are good if you can abuse the fact that your opponent doesn't have a lot of anti-torpedo damage. But the Cybrand can be good just because of the mermaid, where they can put them in a stealth field, and with them they can be good. The Woki Woki can be used as a T3 or RT when you win Navy because on leg they have a decent range and good damage. I would put it in a good spot because the deck damage of the uh, Cruiser is good. it doesn't beat a destroyer, but it's still relevant in a navy fight. So in a navy fight, the Cybrand and the Aeon have a decent cruiser, but the destroyer, when they can a siege base, is better, in my opinion, than to be relevant in every fight. And I put every other T2 sub into the C tier. I mean, there is only the Ion, but and the destroyer is the best destroyer in the navy, and that's the biggest weakness for Seraphim, the T2 navy. The destroyer are decent, and they can be useful against UAF if they don't make Cooper, because you can make them go under the sea, and the destroyer doesn't have any torpedo defenses to be relevant against those. So you can have a shot in early phase against UAF, but otherwise is the worst one. And the cruiser is the same as the UF. He have better damage per second, but the UF have more alpha damage because they send 3 missiles and the Seraphim just send 1 by 1. Now for the T3 phase, that's where the big gun are, the best battleship of them all. The UF-1 is such a good unit. It's maybe the best navy unit of the game. Excellent range, good DPS, amazing HP. Just a really good unit overall. The nuclear sub, you can make one to siege base because they have an excellent range, but most people use them to build a nuke and have one that you don't expect from an angle that is not from your main base. The Neptune is just an excellent destroyer. One Neptune can beat 3 Aeon destroyer for the same price, and it's just a better destroyer. The Cybrand is a bit better because you can make him stealthed, but otherwise it's the same for every nuke launcher. The Cybrand battleship have the best DPS, but not a really good health pool, and its cheaper price doesn't justify its health difference compared to other battleship. Now the aircraft carrier, they are decent, just for the A, just cruiser with more HP. Having them in your navy is good if you know that your opponent want to break your navy with air, because a cruiser can be quite fragile against heavy air like the T3 Aeon or Experimental. The nuke sub of the of the Aeon is just like the UF-1. The battleship of Aeon is a unit. He have a good health pool, is faster than other battleship, but have a shitty range, and the range really hurt him. You feel there is 50 range difference between the Aeon and the UF, and the UF still win in an engagement, even if there is no range difference. Such a it's hard for Aeon to fight Navy because of that. The Torrent is just a trash unit. I would even prefer making a nuke sub than Torrent. Yeah, the missile of the nuke sub are can be defended easier, but the Torrent have a less range than the Nuke Sub. It's just a bad unit with a lot of HP. Aircraft Carrier is the same for the other faction. The Seraphim have a better one because he have a missile launcher, so he can still support a base assault. The missile launcher have the same range of the battleship, so it's a good addition to the. I would even put it in A. The submarine, the T3 submarine of the Seraphim are a good unit, but you have to pay attention to them. They have the same range of destroyer, but they are submarine, and if your opponent doesn't have a lot of torpedo defense, they can be really useful. The Seraphim battleship is surprisingly decent and can make a nuke. They are better than the Aeon one, but worse than the two contestant, and no one can beat the UF battleship. Now I put the experimental on the tier list because they are useful in the Navy phase, and they are more often seen than the land counterpart. So the Atlantis have the best vision range of any unit. Have great AA, good range and good HP, not a great DPS. So having one in your navy it's good, but not more. You prefer having a battleship than Atlantis. The bugs are surprisingly good in the navy phase. Is there's like less than 5 cruiser, you can win back navy with 1 battle. Same thing can be said about the Tsar. It's more fragile than the Beetles because it's slower. But when it's on top of the navy, it destroys it because of its laser beam is really insane. The Tempest is just a battleship with a better cannon, but the same HP of the UF battleship for twice the price. You have a good DPS ratio. The cannon is great, but its self-rule is really shitty for its price. And the Seraphim have the the T3 bomber to win back navy, and one bomb kill every cruiser. They don't kill aircraft carrier, but that thing is scary to the navy. And now I would just say something about the navy defense of the Cybrand. It's great because except the Seraphim, there is no torpedo bomber that outrange them. You have to spot them and to ground fire with your battleship, or kill them with torpedo and have a stream of T3 air scout to spot them. So it's really annoying to fight back again against those. But yeah, that's my opinion on the Navy in FAF. I hope it helped. Have a nice day.